Okay guys, I have the revisited Zephyr here. It's going to be around 63 inches or so. I'm just not cutting the wingtips off at the end. Otherwise, you know, in my blanks, I have enough to just leave a little bit in the end of this cut. So basically what I've done here is I've taken the Drac motor mount and I've trimmed where the black lines are. And basically what I've done is I've trimmed that off. And I've done that using just a pair of tin snips. You can use a bandsaw, you can use whatever you want to cut it, and then I ran it through my belt sander on the ends and just rolled the ends on it. You can see right there, just made it nice and smooth. But that's basically what I cut off of it. So I placed it right in between the quad spars, right down and in between the quad spars. So what I did is, after I laid the whole airplane out, I cut the opening for the prop sizes that I want to, you know, put in there. I laid it on the wing, and you can see where I laid it on the wing, and then basically took my coping saw and I made a slice right down into the root of this aircraft. Basically, it went over all the way to the edge, so the motor mount fits in there really nice. And it is sandwiched between the actual quad spar. So on this aircraft, you'll also have, you know, some longer spars that come with it, because you're going to want to do is lay your mains in directly over where your quad spars go across about to here. So your quad spars end up crossing over here, and then your wing spars are going to go ahead and camber that camber effect top and bottom. So when you place those, definitely place those right over the top of the main spars just to get to the strength out to the tip. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this out and show you what the end product looks like, and I'll bring you back in. All right, what I've done is I've cut in the actual motor bracket that goes onto the plate. So you can see I made sure that I had laid this down originally on there, draw this all out. I cut this area out now, so this area will fit. You can see it actually fits the width of the bracket. So now the bracket can slide directly on. So now we have the quad spars going on the top and on the bottom, sandwiching this bracket in there. And I'm going to take it apart and I'll show you that part. Okay, let's do a disassembly. I basically have the quad spars installed into the aircraft, the motor mount plate slid directly in between the quad spars, and the rear bracket cleared out. I've also taken the Drac motor mount plate and I've cleared out a little bit off the rear end of it. You can leave it longer. I'm leaving it a little, making it a little bit shorter so I can get the center of gravity of this aircraft a little bit farther forward and clear enough room in here for the propeller. This aircraft's large enough to fit a lot of battery up in the front of it, so it's not, you know, it's not a problem to clear some of the room out of the middle to put the spars and the motor mount in there, especially if you want to have something that's very stout like a quad spar. So having this motor mount in here with these types of spars with this setup is giving you the ultimate aircraft in handling and performance. Okay, I'm going to disassemble. Basically, we'll pull this apart and you can see the motor mount mounted in there. What you would want to do after all of this has been fit, done, ready to go, made sure everything looks right, you're going to want to drip some Gorilla Glue down into all of the tube slots and spray a little water in there and slide the tubes back and forth. Then you're going to want to stick a little bit of Gorilla Glue into the motor mount slot with a popsicle stick, and you're going to want to wet it down and get everything pre-lubed up with that Gorilla Glue. And don't work slow, work fairly fast. Get all this assembled and put together, and then you can either use hot glue for your final assembly in the middle or 3M90. So after you get all your Gorilla Glue in here and you get everything ready to go, everything pre-fit, you would use I usually a little bit of 3M90, spray the roots, slide everything together, and then hold it together. Make sure everything's fitting while you can still manipulate and move everything. And then once it's done, you can add a little bit of weight, say on the bench, a little bit of weight in this area after it's all pushed together, just to hold it down and keep the assembly from moving during the swelling of the Gorilla Glue. This is a good lowdown on how to do your motor mount. I'm not going to be making very many of these aircraft, but having a quick video is really going to help this type of motor mount and this type of spar system be able to be assembled together in close quarters.